Don't go away. You won't want to miss this episode of Doggy Dilemmas. It's all about the blue tick, Chloe, and her dog aggressive behavior.
Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer with over 20 years experience training dogs and people. If you've got a doggy dilemma, Denise can help.
Welcome to another episode of Doggy Dilemmas. I'm Denise Mazzola. Today we're going to meet Christine and Brian and their 7-year-old blue tick hound, Chloe. We first met her at the canine casting call back in October, and she has some pretty serious issues that we couldn't address at that time. So we're going to see how things have been going, see what we'd like to accomplish today, and let's get started. So Brian and Christine, come on over. Hi, you guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Hey, Chloe. Okay, so let's just recap. I remember she's fearful. That she has done, she's broken teeth when she's been crated. Is that right?
She's broken the crate itself.
Okay,
and
the crate.
Everything underneath it, the tray, and I mean, she's destroyed it.
Okay. Like the first time she was in the crate, or just any time she goes in the crate?
Anytime that we're using it.
And so you don't use it, I guess, anymore?
No.
Okay. And did she do self-damage as well? I mean, was she injuring her mouth or her paws? Or?
There was some blood coming up around there where she had chewed through through the metal.
And so kind of list for me what her issues are.
She's very fearful of meeting new people, especially men. And if we're out for a walk and she sees somebody, she'll get nervous and she may even charge at them.
Okay. So not always?
Not always, but
Okay.
If they get close enough, she would.
So it's a distance issue, not necessarily who she sees? Okay. Okay. So if you're walking on one side of the sidewalk and the person's like across the street, no issue?
It can be.
It can
Yeah,
be.
especially if it's a guy.
Okay, even with the street
Right.
Yes.
width between you? Okay.
That's still close enough proximity for her to
Okay.
get anxious.
And she goes the proverbial crazy, barking, lunging at the end of her
Yes.
leash, and you can barely sort of hang on?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. How about when you pass dogs?
Yes.
Same
She'll-
thing?
Yeah, she does not.
Consistently?
Yeah, like other dogs at all,
Okay.
or any animals at all. So
Okay. What other, I mean, those are two significant issues. How is she in the house?
fine in the house, other
Yeah.
than just continually barking. She won't stop.
If somebody
tries to
comes
come
in.
You're right.
Okay.
She doesn't like them in the house. She doesn't, you can sit there and say, stop all you want, and she just won't go on.
Okay. So she'll bark continually in the house when someone new comes in?
When somebody new comes
Okay.
in.
So when someone new comes in the house, most dogs would bark for a period of, for a period of time, a short period of time, sort of when that arousal, someone's new, and then when that levels off, they'll often stop. And does she do that or not?
No.
She'll continue to bark.
Yes.
Right.
So if I come in the house and sit down on your chair or whatever, then I'm there for an hour. She'll bark pretty much the whole time?
Well, being a female, probably not.
Okay.
If it was a male, yes.
Okay,
Or
so she'll calm
sit
down.
back and become, growl and sit back and just eyeball you and stuff. She may not continually bark, but she'll always be like an aggressive state,
Okay.
always on guard and
Okay.
cautious.
Okay. And we can see even here, her tail is low. It's not completely tucked, but it's tucked.
Right.
And yet, what's curious is the front of her ears are up. And generally, if she were overall fearful, I'd see sort of a windblown look with her. Her ears and her face and everything would be back in, her tail would be tucked. So she's in what I would call right now a little conflicted. I mean, she's watching what's happening in the room. She's got her back to me. Okay. All right. So what else happens at home? You have other dogs at home, and she's okay with them? Or?
Yes.
She is with the male dog. She just plays with him. in
Okay.
general, but her play is a very aggressive play,
Okay.
which goes fine with the male dog there. But the other female dog, which is an older female dog, some of that aggressive play kind of goes the opposite direction, and they
Okay.
kind of get into it with each other. But outside of that, no.
Okay.
She's
Any
fine.
cats at home?
Yeah, but that's more
They're
of
in a lower level. They're
separate
not
section.
even
Because of
allowed
her?
together.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Because you feel like she'd go after them and get them?
She would. She has.
I don't think she would. One of the cats she befriended, so she was fine with it. The cat could come up and she wouldn't have any problems. The other two, if they demonstrate any type of where they're fearful of her or anything else, then she goes more into prey mode where she wants to try to come
Okay.
after them. But
Okay.
the other cat wasn't fearful of it at all, and just kept coming up to her, and she kind of befriended that
Okay.
cat.
Okay. So let's just see if we can turn her around a little bit so she
Chloe?
can face
Good
us.
girl. Good girl.
She's shaking?
Yeah.
She looks like she is. Okay. Okay. So no bite history. She's
No.
never bitten a person. So that's a testament, I think, to your management of her and probably the directions you give people that come to the house. Can family members come in and does she remember family members or not?
Depends
Not
on
at
how long it's
first.
been away, yeah. Like her son is away at college, he can come in and she's fine.
Okay.
My son comes up, not all that frequently, and she doesn't recall him.
Okay.
Eventually she will, but right off the bat, no.
Okay. Does she know a sit, Christine?
Yes.
So
Chloe,
just have her come next to you and ask her to sit.
sit. Good girl.
Okay. So how do you guys feel about her?
Love her.
Okay. And
Sit. Stay. Good
dogs
girl.
give back to us, and so
girl.
you feel like she gives back to you 90%? Like, what percentage of the time is she like, oh my God, I don't know if I can stand this dog anymore?
None.
None. I mean,
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
she's a wonderful, wonderful dog.
Okay. Okay.
Just around other people.
Just don't come to the house, and we'll get a bullhorn out if we're coming down the street. So, how often is she walked? I mean, I guess that's an issue, but how big of an issue is it? Just ask her to keep sitting.
Chloe, sit. Good girl.
She, generally when, at least if I'm home during the day, because they work 3 days a week, so I'm home the rest, pretty much the rest of the
Chloe,
week.
sit.
I take her and her brother out once in the morning,
Sit.
try to get it out in the second time in the
Okay.
afternoon.
Sit.
But
Stay. Good
a lot
girl.
of times it's the her walk and trying to get him to walk at the same, because he's more of just a fast-paced, get-going walk. She likes to sniff and stop and go. And
Sure,
So
sure.
it kind of hampers a little bit, so she may only get to go out one time, get his exercise in so he can do his
Okay.
walk.
Okay. So what would your goals be for her today? Because I've got a lot of ideas sort of running through my head, but we might as well concentrate on the bigger issues. And she's been like this for 7 years, so there's the standard answer I give everybody. There's no quick fix to how she is who she is. There's certain things that we can do that will make it, that we can try to make it better.
I'd
But
like
let me hear what your
to
goals are first before I sort of rattle
be
off.
able to at least manage her, especially on a walk, to
Okay.
not charge at people.
Okay.
Because God forbid if they took it the wrong way, we would hate to have a knock on our door because of an issue with an aggressive dog.
She
Right.
also has the stealth attack, so she'll be walking around and you could have another dog, it's like her neighbor
Sit.
dog is across the way there.
Good
She'll be
girl.
fine, boom, gone. So she'll ease up on you, make you think she's right there, and then she'll take off.
Okay.
Right for him and
Okay.
charge. I mean, it's
It
stuff
goes
like that.
after the neighbor's
Goes
dog.
after, yeah.
Oh, okay. So she can be out loose for a little bit, and then
But
she
she's
just
never loose.
She's never loose.
We
Okay.
keep her on a leash.
Okay.
So we have a retractable leash and
Okay.
the knees, so.
okay. And has she had for dog fights? Does she do damage at dog fights?
Yes.
Yes.
She does. Okay. So what kind of damage are we talking about?
The
Good
last fight that she got
Keep asking her
into,
to sit.
Chloe,
Sit,
sit. The last fight she got into with my older dog, she tore open her leg.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
About a year now.
Yeah, it's been almost a year.
Okay. And this is the female we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. And is the female a hound, or how old is she?
She's a mix.
She's a
Rottie
Rottie
Shepherd
hound.
mix, yeah.
No, she's a
Okay.
Rottie hound
No, we're not
mix.
mixed, okay.
Okay. All right. So
Good girl.
couple of thoughts. One, move your foot so she can't. I just want her to, there you go.
Sit.
I want her to have to pay a little
Good
bit of
girl.
attention. Do you feel sorry for her? You
Do I
haven't
feel
said-
sorry for her?
Yeah.
No.
No, okay. Just want to make sure. You know my sort of little lecture I'm feeling sorry for. I was trying to get an idea of how many decisions she makes in the course of the day at home. Does she get on the couch and you move over? Does she nudge your hand and you give her attention? Or does she work for things? Ask her to sit here.
Sit. Usually, for the most part, she works for her stuff.
She starts becoming more, she keeps bouncing your hand, trying to get attention. It's usually no, stop, and then
Okay.
we'll wait till, and then we'll provide her back over.
Okay, good. I mean, it's great that there's no problem with her and the family. And it's astounding that she's had no bite history to people. That's great. But there seems to be that there's a high level of maintenance on your part, which I don't think at this point you're going to be able to relax much. The nervousness and the fear seems to be who she is. Was she like that when you first got her at
Yes.
6 months to a year?
She had extreme anxiety issues
Okay.
when I first
She
got
didn't
her.
want to be near me.
Okay.
at
How
all.
long did it take her to adjust to you?
A month, a little bit longer.
Okay. Okay. And so, we could take a guess as to why she is this way. Coming from the South, she probably had very poor socialization, so she didn't see a lot.
Well, she
didn't
was picked up on the street, so.
Right. Probably by a man. Probably handled roughly with a catch pole or whatever. In the South, they still, not every shelter, but some will still hose down dogs with a hose when they're in their kennels to keep them cool, which a dog like this would be petrified after that. So she has classical conditioning, associative learning to men is be on guard. And dogs generalize that stuff very quickly. They can't, she now knows you're okay, but I'm sure if Ernie came close to her, we'd see a much different reaction. She's sort of tolerant of me. I just sort of stand here, and she's been trying to move away. I just wanted her to sit and relax, with us. So she might benefit from anxiety medication. And I say might because there is there's like a counter protocol, I would say. So she hasn't bit, and meds might lower that inhibition that would then sort of remove that inhibition so that she might feel confident enough to bite. I wouldn't be the one to answer that question. I can talk to you about a vet if you're interested in that afterwards. And that's just my opinion. She might say, oh, no, she's perfectly acceptable for meds. But with a dog that's this nervous and conflicted, sometimes reducing that anxiety so that learning can happen faster and so that she doesn't have to be on guard all the time can help. So that's something to give some thought to.
Sit. Good
What
girl.
I would want you to be conscious of is when you're walking with her, make sure this kind of dog also needs you guys to clearly be the boss. The one that tells her that she needs to sit, that she can go through the door, that she can do this or that she can do that. So really at home start to pay attention to how many decisions she's making versus whether you made that decision. Okay, because that's going to be important for her. Dogs are very much like children in the fact that they like rules and they like to know what the expectations are. And when it's a little bit wishy-washy or a lot wishy-washy and they're the ones that are doing everything, they can feel worse. It'll make their anxiety worse. It can just make everything worse. What's interesting, and the reason I also thought about meds was the fact that she stays in a state of high alert when people come to the house, and she has her ability to relax and say, okay, clearly they're not a threat, doesn't seem to really exist for her, particularly if it's some man that she doesn't know. Even if it sounds like even if he's just sitting being still, she's still in the state of high arousal. So training can definitely help, and I want to see what things I know she knows sit, what other things she knows, because she's operating from what we call the hindbrain, where she's aroused, sniffing, lunging, barking, just being a dog. She's reacting. She's not really thinking anymore. But we need to flip that switch so she can come to the front brain and actually start to think and learn. But when she's in this state of arousal, like barking at the dog or barking at the person on the street, we can't ask her to sit then because she's not really with us. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few things that you can do. I'm not going to show you on her. I'll either show you on my stuffed dog or I've got a dog with me and I'll show you on that dog, and then I'll have you practice some of those things to just bring her away from the situation in a firm but deliberate manner that doesn't hurt her, but really communicates to her, you know what? I'm tired of this behavior. You need to stop and focus on me now. And so we'll go over that. But what I'd like to do is I know she was on stage with me and the stuffed dog was there, and I don't think she had any reaction at that point.
No.
So I just want to try that again and see what she does. So I'm going to have you guys actually just walk out and just stand behind the door. I'm going to set the dog up, and I just want you to walk in and let her do whatever she's going to do. Walk right up to the dog. No, let's correct that. I'm going to have you walk halfway in. If she goes to
Sit.
the end of the leash, I want a little
Sit.
frustration to see what she does with that, and
Sit.
then let her walk up and see the dog.
Good girl.
And then we'll just sort of talk about that as that happens. We may not see anything with that, but then I want to show you some techniques and then just do some walk-bys with dogs. In here, it'll be a little close proximity, but might as well just get the show on the road and see what we can do with her. Okay? So you guys just walk out with her.
Come on, babe.
Okay. Christine, come on in and let her get a little frustrated and then... Slow down a second. So she clearly sees it. Her head is down. She looks away. Keep going with her now. She's going to do a little sniffing. Just going to poke around to the back end first. It's a pretty classic fear response. And you know, most aggression cases are based in fear, which is just what we're seeing here with her. She's not vocalizing, which is nice, but this dog isn't moving. So see if she'll walk around, or if you pat this stuffed dog, does she have any different reaction? But she hasn't been brave enough yet to come around to the front. See how she's trying to get around you? No, so that's fine. She's looking away, she's licking her lips, when she first came in and saw the dog, she dropped her head and kind of went low, and she did a nice approach in that she arced away from the dog. She didn't just come in like a freight train, like a lot of dogs were just like, I'm just going to nail it first. I'm just going to grab. So step back so she can't lean on you. There you go.
Sit.
I just didn't want her to
Good
have that
girl.
little bit of security. Oh, I'm touching Brian. I can, growl at the dog now. So you guys just stand there. I'm going to move this dog
Good
towards
girl.
her a little bit. She can get up or do whatever she wants to do. So she still has her ears up. That's a much better choice than lunging at her. She's hiding behind you. Okay. And lots of lip licking. Her ears are still forward, so she's still, she's fearful, but her ears and her body are saying, I might have to go for you. And you said that she's sort of stealthy, so
Yes,
what do you think would happen if do you think she's just going to suddenly come out, or is she going to give a big warning and then come out?
Oh no, she may just suddenly lunge at the dog.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's actually acting differently than what
She
she normally was. Normally she's going toward, she's got us pulling her back, trying to keep her under control.
Right. So take a backward step, Christine, and apply a little leash pressure to her. Because that sort of takes away her thought that maybe she can flee. So now we don't have the growl anymore. She's still going to choose to go away. Okay, good. I don't need to twerk. No big surprise that there's a fear base in it. There's still a little bit of conflict because her whole body isn't telling me the same thing. Her approach is slow. She
Sit.
did lots of head
girl.
turns, which is appropriate. And it signals to this dog, I really don't want to threaten you. It's often I guess you could think of it as a deference. She's deferring to the dog by turning her head. And she kind of got low, but her tail wasn't way tucked. It was low, but not way tucked. But her ears were still up and forward, which is a little, it's just not
Sit.
all in sync. So
sit.
just to point out body language, because
Sit.
that is how dogs communicate. She does communicate with growls. She did warn the dog away. But it sounds like she doesn't always do that. Okay. You just kind of mentioned the stealthy thing.
Yeah, that was new. I haven't seen her do that.
Okay. And she's not in familiar area, and she's on a leash and a gentle leader, and there's a person behind the dog. So she's got two of her fear factors are working, right? Me and the dog. So it could be a little bit overwhelming. All right, so let's just run through her behaviors first, and then we'll set up some dog situations to work with.
Okay.
Whatever, does she just know sit? Does she know anything else?
She knows sit, lay down, come. She'll give me her paw.
Okay.
She's got all
Do you
of
want
the
some
basic
treats, or
manners.
will she work without them?
She'll work without them.
Okay.
Chloe, sit. Lie down. Go ahead. She's a little nervous.
I know, she's thinking, can I give you my paw instead?
Lie down. Good girl.
Good, and it's a nice relaxed down because she
Mm-hmm.
scooted her hips underneath. That's nice. Okay, good. And can she sit from a down?
Sit. Chloe. Good girl.
Good. And how about the paw?
Paw. Come on. Oh, yes. Good girl.
So she actually starts to look a little softer when you're asking her to do things, which is nice. And she's also now, we've flipped that switch and she has to start
Sit.
thinking about what you're asking her to do. She's not in all worry land
Chloe,
anymore.
come.
Yep, so
Good
take a
girl.
step forward and make her sit facing the next to you. So how like,
Chloe, come. Okay, sit. Good girl.
good. Now, if you guys are home, sitting down and in different positions like
Sit.
you've seen me do in class, Christine, will she also sit and lie
Yes.
down? Okay, good. So she has it fairly well generalized. Now she's going to lay with her back to me again. I just don't want to look at the scary spider anymore.
Chloe. Chloe,
Okay. So what I would like to do is,
sit. Good girl.
can we put her away someplace so she doesn't have to see the other dog while we work? Can we put her back in your car for a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so let's do that, and then I'm going to get a dog, and I want you to work with the dog first, and then we'll bring her in so you can do both.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so let's just put her back in the car so she can chill out for a minute.
Okay. Come on. Good girl.
Okay, come on in without Chloe. And Christine, I'm going to work with you first, so Brian, you can stand anywhere you want. I know. And so what I want to show, I'm going to do it first, and I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and then I'll have you do it with him. We'll get through, I think I'm going to do 3 exercises, and then we'll switch, and I'll keep Thor here, and we'll work with Chloe.
Okay.
Okay. So here's our pretend dog that Thor doesn't like. And even though he's 12, he'll be sharky, so feel free to tell him gentle before you try to give him a treat. So if you were walking down the street, and you should always have some food with you, high value, and we can use associative learning when the dog, in this case Thor, tells me he has seen this other dog. And he may not look at the other dog, but we'll have to pretend. So if he looks at the dog, then I'm going to feed him the whole way past. Ouch. And when the dog is no longer visible, you stop feeding. Okay? Come on. Now, the other thing I can do is, I'm just going to leave that dog there. If you're walking and you know this is going to be an issue, increase your distance as much as possible. Okay? And obviously she has a pretty big threshold if she's reacting across the street. So you're just going to have to try and see what works for her. Okay. So I'm going to have you take him, Christine. You can pretend to feed him. He's a little mouthy. He's like, I'm so excited to be here. Sit. Sit.
Question for you, though.
Yes.
So if it was that situation, especially if you don't really have the ability to increase your distance, should you always have you positioned between the 2 dogs?
Yes,
Your
I
body
think that would be an
position?
excellent thing to do.
Okay.
Yep. Because then you will sort of block a little bit,
Okay.
and she's choosing, at least in this little situation, to go behind Christine, or you, if you were the one holding the leash, I suspect. So she's trying to get away, and she's like, you go, you go, see if it's going to hurt you first. Right? So just honor and just say, yep, swing her around to the other side. And maybe you can't feed her because she's in such hysterics as she goes by. So there's going to be a lot of judgment on your part about which method at that given time is going to work for you. Okay? So this is just going to be associative learning, and he is not going to look at the other dog, so I just kind of want you to go through the motions, and whether you actually feed him, that's up to you. I would feed with the right hand because he's going to be on your left.
Okay.
And feel free to tell him gentle. So just go. So he sees the dog, then you'd feed him as you went past, and then stop as you've passed it. Good. So, and remember, with associative learning, Christine, the dog has to say, I see it. You can't see it. Oh, God, there's the dog. And then start to feed her, or you'll reverse that association. Oh, whenever Brian and Christine reach down with that liverwurst, there's a dog somewhere. See the difference? We need her to see the thing
Sit.
and then say, oh, look what I've got.
Sit.
And depending on her state of arousal will really depend on how
Sit.
that might work. She clearly has a long history of being afraid of other dogs. And so a little classical work will help, but it's not going to be
Thor.
your solution, in honesty. If you think about anything that I did a teaching with a group of people, just ask them, Thor. Just ask them to sit. Be firm with them. Or lie
Sit.
down.
Lie down. Thor.
Down. Only because his hips are stay. So I worked with a group of people, and one woman said when she was 6, she was given amoxicillin in a bubblegum flavor, and then she had a horrible allergic reaction to it, and she's probably in her 40s now. And if she's out someplace or at a grocery store and she smells that same smell, she said she literally has to walk away and go to a different aisle. That is associative learning almost at its best and at its worst. And so are we ever going to change that association for her? Probably not. So it's hard to tell how deep Chloe's association is in the negative sense to the other dog, but it is a technique that can and does work, so I want you to have it in your toolkit and give it a try. Increasing distance can absolutely make a difference, okay? All right, so the last one, come here, Thor. So you're going to be walking with and you can do this with him as we go. Stop backing up. We're going to walk. It's called an emergency shutdown. So if he's barking and carrying on, you're going to take your dog by the collar, back them up, bring him along with you. Sit. Sit. And you're going to rub his face. Good boy. He's going to do it very quick until he makes a mouth movement or licks his lips. What that does is it tells you're switching that brain to the front. You're not making any sort of, stand up, you're not making any sort of direct threat to him, but as you walk, you can say something, too bad, sit. You're not holding them up off the floor, but you're gonna rub his muzzle, there, until he licks his lips. In horses, when they lick their lips or make a mouth movement, it tells you that they're thinking. Oh, I'm thinking. And that's what we need her to start doing. So, whoop. And then, when she's thinking, you can let her go and go forward again and try to keep always increased, honor her fear, right? We don't need to parade her by at a foot apart from another dog. Let's honor that. So, Christine, let's have you give this a try. And then we'll give Brian a try. So ask him, he can stay in heel position.
Heel.
Yep, just keep going.
Good boy.
Then you're gonna reach down, take his collar, and bring him along with you. Just say,
Come.
yep,
Come.
and rub his face
Come.
a little bit until he stops.
Come.
Just the side, just so you can get the sides right here. Yep, hold on to him. You're not hurting him. So I'd say he licks plenty of times. Okay, got you in the face too.
He keeps licking.
And so with Chloe, she's got the gentle leader on, which I think is a perfect piece of equipment to use for her. You have to have control of her head. Stop, my God, you're 12. Where's that old age when you need it? Because you want control of her head and you want control of where her nose is going to go, okay? All right, so Brian, let's have you do the associative learning one first. I'm going to give you some treats, and he's very rough, so feel free to stay gentle with him.
Think spirit.
His only issue is he hasn't been out for a while. He gets so excited. So I'm just going to help, you're just going to have to pretend when he sees the dog.
Okay.
Yep. Then as you go past, good, you're all done. Now this time when you walk by, let's say you see the dog, and I just want you to practice stepping off and giving some space, just so you can physically go through that decision to make room.
Come here, buddy. Ready? Let's go.
Good, good. And in this case, you've got yourself between you and the dog, which is perfect. Now let's have you do one of those emergency shutdowns. Remember, you're not hurting him. He's just like, what's happening? I used to just get food shoved in my mouth. Collar, yep, and bring him with you. Yep, and you can have him sit. Yep.
No, you see you, buddy.
So remember.
Down, down, down.
Good. You know, Chloe, we don't know how Chloe, she might struggle and fight with you too because she wants to go back at that thing. But what you want to communicate is that it's your job to keep her safe, and you're going to do that. So backing away from the scary thing is important. If you were in a situation where a dog were coming right at her, I don't think I would do the emergency back away because we don't have control of that other dog, right? And the last thing I want is for her to have something bad happen from the backside. But if you're out on a sidewalk and somebody else is walking and you know they're going to keep going, then and you need to get her under control, nothing else is happening, that's when you need to say, she's in her hindbrain mode, and I've got to switch her to her front brain mode. Okay? All right, so let's get Chloe, and I'm going to have you come in and out this door.
Okay.
And do you have food with you to use with her?
I don't. I have her toy. She's not food-driven.
Okay, fine. Let's say otherwise in the yellow bag there's food and in the blue bag there's toys. And we're going to start just as you come in. Your job will be to walk over, well, let me think about this. If I'm over here, I'll be over this way. Then you'll have some distance to move away. And you do not need to walk all the way to me. You can just let her see the dog, feed and back away. Okay, and I'll be helping you decide what to do. So I'll put this dog away. You go ahead and get her. Okay. Good, so come on in with her.
Her mouse is over on the other table.
Okay, go grab her.
Stop. Sit. Sit. Good girl.
Good. So she's already told you that she's seen him. So if she won't, if she won't eat or stay focused on the toy, then you're going to have to do something else.
Okay.
And that can be to try to give her space. And if you need to, you can walk out and then come back in if you need to. So I just don't want you to have to veer towards us to get out that door.
Okay.
Or you can walk and just go around behind Ernie, and then we'll do another pass by.
Okay.
Stay. Okay. So she's seen him. See if she'll engage in the toy or anything.
Good girl.
Good. Keep going. So your choice. She's pulling you towards him. I would do an emergency back away probably. Yep, and back up, straight back the way you came. Yep. Go, 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 go. You're being too slow about it. Yep. Back, back, back. Yep, and start rubbing her face. Yep, you can stop right there and rub from her nose down her muzzle. Oh, yes, like that. Big, yes,
Yeah,
stop, and
that's
she
a
licked her
good
lips.
girl.
There, stop. And just stand there a second. Just let her go. Just stop. And if she has to do it again, you can just put the mouse away. I don't think that's going to be much for her. Good, so now she's a little more focused on you. So I would just turn and walk back towards Brian.
Good girl.
So a little too, what I would say, nice about the whole thing, right?
Okay.
So it's not that I want you to be mean. I want you to be direct and matter of fact. And there must have been a time with your kids where you said, knock it off.
Yep.
That's what I want you to say to her. But we're going to try to say it to her in dog words. And as soon as you see, so nice big strokes with those thumbs from the front of her muzzle back. And as soon as you see her mouth move or the tongue come out, just stop. No more patting or anything, just stand up and stop. Okay? So go ahead, try again. And as soon as she starts to redirect you to him, like she's ready to charge right over there, he's not threatening her. Better.
Good girl. Come.
Good.
Do you want me to go back?
Yep, come on back.
Come on.
Let her just choose which side she's going to go on. Good. All right, so given the choice, it
Come.
looks like she's going to choose that side. Good. So now just give her some patting, love patting.
Good girl.
And do you think she'll eat liverwurst or anything? You don't think so?
I would try it. I can try it.
She might.
Okay. The liverwurst, I actually use it.
I mean, she seems to be relaxing a little bit, so she might.
Yep. And that emergency back off will help her to relax. Let me get that middle piece out.
Good girl.
So however you want to give this to her. She doesn't need the whole thing. She can either lick it, or if she gets too grabby, just abandon ship. Stay. So the other, remember, like her her she's not aggressive yet, but her intention, we think, is because of her history. And he is no threat. He's laying sideways to her. He won't look at her. I can guarantee that. That's why I brought him in. So the fact that she's all high and mighty, dragging you over there, not necessary.
Okay.
And that's why I want you to step and say, no, that's not needed. Okay? Go ahead. So you're going to walk again, Brian. You can try the liverwurst first. If not, try to find a pocket for it and do the emergency back away.
Okay.
Good. I like the fact that her mouth is open now.
You ready? Let's go.
Good. Good. She's going to sniff it first. What is that? Well, got her mind off of Thornton, except for right there. Yep, so turn her head to you. Yep, right there, and start rubbing her face. Yep, from her nose back. Yes, wait till she lips a little bit. Good.
Let's go. Come on.
Keep going. So let's abandon the food. Just go with her. She's like, what is happening to me? You people have never done this before. So I would just get rid of the liverwurst. She's not going to eat it. It's just going to be in your way. Just drop it in there. It's fine. Then you'll have your hands free. Okay. So as you walk, if she's paying attention to anything but him, good girl, Chloe. Really use your verbal praise, because if we don't, if we can't, we're going to have to tell her somehow.
All right.
Stop.
And it's the tone of your voice that's going to be important.
Stop.
So you're a really deep-voiced man, so try to get a little up if you can.
Okay.
And then you can, either way, just turn around and we'll come back and do it again. Or if you want to go out, you can go out.
Okay. You ready? Come on, baby. Come on. Good girl.
That's a
Come
nice
on, baby.
stress shake
Good
off.
girl.
Much
Good
better.
Girl. Yeah. Good
Much
girl.
better. I like that a
Yeah.
lot. Good.
Come
And let her
ready?
just sit out there for a second. Is she going to shake off again?
Yep.
Good.
Okay, you
And let's
ready?
have you come back through.
Come here. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Good girl.
Good, good.
Oh,
Much
good,
better,
good
much
girl.
better. Good.
Good.
Good girl.
Okay, so can you see that a little bit in her? Like and she looked more relaxed. Her mouth is a little, her jaw's a little more relaxed now. She's still got a little vein. I don't care that she's wagging her tail, it's more of the position, but I don't want her dragging you to him. So, Christine, I'm going to have you do it once more where Thor is, and I'm just going to move him after that.
Okay, Chloe.
Good,
Come on.
talk to her. Good girl.
Good girl. Good girl. Very good. Good girl, Chloe.
Nice. Nice. She's
Good
got a little
girl.
loose body. Her mouth, can you feel it? It's hard to see sometimes when you're on the leash. Okay, so go ahead and walk back, and then I'm going to move him.
Come. Come. Come on. Chloe. Chloe.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Come on.
She's won
Good
that.
girl.
Keep
Good
going, keep
girl.
going, keep going, keep
Good
going.
girl.
Good.
Very
Don't stop when she
good.
starts that. Just keep going, okay? So I'm going to move him a little bit.
My leg's not going to get it off you.
Go ahead and go past us again.
Chloe. Come.
Remember, Thor's is back to
Come
where
on.
he's-
Keep going. Good girl. Keep going. Come on. Good girl. Very
better,
good.
much better.
Very good.
Okay, and go back one more time.
Okay, come. Come on. Good girl. Come on, Chloe.
Yes.
Good girl. Very good. Good girl.
Good.
Very, very good.
Good. Now, I'm not telling you the first time you see a dog out in the real world outside
she'll
of
do
here, she's
that.
not going to go ballistic. My goal here is to get you two through the sort of your muscle movements so you know what it feels like and what it looks like and what she should look like so that you can do it. And
Sit.
it's direct and matter of fact. Hold
Sit.
her head up and ask her to sit. Don't let her do that. Hold her
Chloe,
head up.
sit. Good
Good.
girl.
Okay. So you're going to do it again, Christine, and I'm going to walk this way.
Okay.
Thor, come around. He's going to be on my left side just because that's where I'm going to put him. So go ahead.
Come on. Good girl. Keep going, Chloe. Good girl. Good
Good.
girl.
Nice. So you weren't muscling her back there, were you?
Nope.
Good. Very nice. Okay, so let's try again.
Good girl.
And then we'll switch to Brian. So he's going to be
Chloe.
on your side.
Okay. Come on. Chloe. Come on. Chloe. Come. Come. Good girl.
So I'm not sure why she was resisting, but I think you made the right choice. Just keep going. She wasn't lunging. Okay, Brian, let's have you give it a try.
Okay.
And then we're going to switch dogs. I'm going to bring in a different dog.
Okay. All right. Come on, baby. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Chloe. Good girl. Come on. Good girl. Yeah, you're doing great. Yes, you are. Yeah.
Good.
All
Good.
right.
And come on
All right.
back.
Come on. Let's go. Come on, Chloe. Come on, Chloe. Come on. Come on. Let's go this way. Come on.
Good. Keep going.
Come on. Come on, baby. Where you at? Where you at? Come on. Good girl.
Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. So
All
she
right.
stayed really in line with you. Even though she was fussing a little bit, she wasn't moving towards me.
Okay.
So I think you made a good decision just to keep going. If she had darted out this way, that's where I would have done the emergency back away, even if you had to back into the camera and just back her right up. Okay, let's have you guys go out this door, because I'm going to go out that door. I'm going to bring in another dog.
Come on, baby. Good girl.
Good
Yeah.
girl.
You have to
You're
go
doing
back.
great. Yes, you are. Yeah.
So who's going to go first?
I will.
Okay,
Come on.
good.
Come on.
So go ahead and do your diagonal walk.
Come on,
Yep,
Coco.
talk to her.
Come on, Coco. Keep going.
Good.
Come on, baby.
So not paying much attention.
Come
as long
on,
as
baby.
Isabel's got her back. Good. And go on
Good.
back to Brian.
Good girl. Okay, come on. Chloe.
Make a decision.
Chloe, come.
Yep.
Good girl. Good
Good.
girl.
Good.
Good girl.
Okay, Brian, I'm going to have you do exactly the same thing while I keep Isabel with her back to you.
Okay. Come on.
And then we'll up.
Come on, let's go. Come
The
on, come on, baby.
difficulty. Good.
Come on, baby. Good girl. Come on. Good girl.
Good. Nice voice.
Come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay, ready?
Good.
Let's go back. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Yeah, that's my baby.
Good.
Girl. Yes. Yes. All right. Very good.
Okay, now Christine, you're going to bring her, and I'm going to have Isabel turn around. So just be ready, because it might be different from Chloe. Go ahead. Oh, nice stress shake off out there. Good.
Good
Go ahead.
girl.
Come on in.
Okay, come on. Come on. Come on, Chloe.
That way.
Come on. Come on, Chloe. It's a good girl. Good
She's not paying much
girl.
attention at all.
Come on. Come on. Good girl.
Keep going.
Come on. Good girl.
Or remember, it's your walk.
Very good.
And just turn around and come back out again. And I'm going to walk a little bit, not too much.
Yeah. Come on,
Go
baby.
ahead,
Come on.
Brian.
Let's go. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Come on. Come on. Let's keep going. Come on, baby. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. All right.
Good.
Okay. Come on. Come on. Back around. Come on. Good girl. There you go, baby. Come on. Come on. Keep on. There you go. All right. Good girl.
Good.
Good girl.
So let's say, Christine, if she's pulling you towards the dog and throwing her head, I want you to do an emergency backup. Because I want you to do it at least one more time.
Okay.
And it's questionable to me why she's doing that. Like, even though she's not vocalizing, she doesn't need to come close to us. So go ahead.
Okay, come on. Come on, Coco. Come on. Come on.
Yep, right there. And back,
Come on.
turn around, back up. No, back up. You turn. So you need to go that way with your
Okay.
backside.
Come.
Yes. And bring her along.
Come on.
Yep. And
Come
start.
on.
Nose right down to, and stop. Just stop and stand now.
Come on.
Nose. Yes. Until she lips.
There.
And stop. Don't touch her anymore. Just let her go. And keep walking.
Okay, come. Come. Good girl.
She's again, holy cow, what happened? Now see if she'll do a stress off. See if she'll shake off when she gets out there at all.
No.
No. All right, so let's have you do that again, Christine.
Okay.
So remember, your walk, walk, walk. Oh, too bad, you're being a jerk, and then you go back this way.
Okay.
Okay?
Come. Come on. Come on.
Keep going, just thinking about it. Yes.
Good girl.
Isabel's a little jumpy for the treats. Good, and do
Good
one
girl.
more.
Come on. Come on.
Good.
Good girl, Chloe. Good
Very
girl.
nice. That was very nice.
Very good.
All right, let's do one with Brian. She's a little better on that side, I think, because you're between, right? So that's definitely a help for her to have a little security and block. Good girl.
Okay.
Go ahead, Brian, whenever you're ready.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I'm gonna
Come
stay
on.
over here.
Good girl. Good girl. Come on.
Good.
Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. There you go. All
Good.
right.
No, I know you want to go see
All right.
people.
Come
Yep,
on,
and
baby.
come on back.
Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. There you go. Come on. Come on. Let's
Keep
go.
going.
Come on.
Good
Good.
girl.
All right. Let me just pause a second. I'm going to take Isabel back out, and then we'll do a little bit of a wrap up. Come on, you. You can't be here. So let's come on in the middle with
Come on.
Chloe.
Come on.
Good girl.
There you go.
Good. So how did that feel?
Fine.
Feel good?
Yeah.
A lot better than what she normally walks.
Okay.
I like the pullback too. I think that'll work out well.
Okay, I think it will too. So for you, Christine, just remember, it's not, you don't necessarily turn, right? We're walking, you take her and turn her.
Make her move.
Yes, exactly. You
Okay.
said it. You make her move into you.
Okay.
And you don't need to drag her any distance. It's just to get her physically turned and feet on the ground, and then a nice big rub
Okay.
from the nose all the way back to her muzzle.
Okay.
Okay. But it definitely seemed to wake her up or snap her out of that hindbrain. What's over there? What's over there? Dog, 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 to, oh, what the heck?
Right.
Right? And you're communicating in a way to her that she understands. And that lip,
Okay.
and just as soon as she lip licks, stop.
Okay.
You don't need to pat her anymore. You still kept trying to comfort her? Is that what, I'm wondering.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so don't comfort her.
Okay.
Right? When she's over here being a good girl, oh, give her all the love you want. But when she starts to be a jerk, you got to become mom.
Okay.
Are you a strict mom? Yes? Well,
Ask the children, yes.
okay. So whatever that thing is, whatever that button is that your kids push that make you go into knock it off mode, that's what you need to be with her
Okay.
when she does that. Okay, you seem to be very good about it. You grabbed her, rubbed her, she licked, you stopped, you went on. Very, very matter of fact like that. And that's how you're going to help her have some limits and boundaries. Now, like I said, when you get out in the real world, I don't think you should be doing it every single time, but she has to sort of relearn the new thing. So you want to counter the, I guess I'd say the harshness or this way of communicating, rub, 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 lick, good girl, with your voice as you go forward. And she pays attention to your voice. And that was nice, since she's not going to eat food and the mouse, you can still try with the mouse, but but she just seemed to want to keep going. And that's fine, keep going, keep moving is great too. Now, with people coming into the house, that's different. And it's different because she's home, she's in a more confined space, you know, even though it's the house, and her choices are limited. So what you've been doing seems to be working, or you could put her somewhere else. Have you tried to put her in a room?
I actually
Yes.
do that, like yesterday, I had the
Okay.
satellite installer, and I just went in and put her back in her bedroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
With
let her
anybody
go.
like that, that's
Yeah.
that's a, you know, that's a repair guy or something.
Right.
We don't need to fix her around those people.
Right.
Just put her away. But after a guest comes and has been there for a while, do you trust her to come out?
It depends on, it depends on her initial reaction around the people that are there.
Okay.
So if she's massively aggressive and just,
Yeah.
I'm getting a little panicky about whether
Yeah.
or not she is attacked,
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and put her in the bedroom, and if I know they're not going to be there any length of time, I'll just
Yep.
leave her there.
Yep.
If they are coming over for a visit, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
eventually I'll bring her back out, try to reintroduce her to it, or she will, and
Okay.
we'll just see how she reacts. If she doesn't react well, she just goes right back
Okay,
in.
that's fine. And she's probably just as happy being in the bedroom.
She
You
is, she
think,
likes
right?
being in there, right?
Yeah, I mean, because I've used this example a lot, but because who's ever coming are the scary things to her, right? So she doesn't necessarily like them any better just because they've been there longer, and she doesn't seem to be the kind of dog that habituates to that for a while. You know, there's some, you know, you could have, if it's somebody that was coming to stay for a length of time, if they could bring you a dirty t-shirt in a bag, like that they've worn overnight, and then they stick it in a bag so it doesn't collect a lot of other scent, then you could let her have that and sniff it. It might help minutely. Oh wait, I think I've smelled this before,
Right.
but doesn't mean she's gonna be friendly. You know, as we can't undo her first whole 6 months or years of life where she got all those impressions made. But you did a really nice job. I really want to hear about how she does outside, at least with, and I would do it with people outside. We did it with dogs here, but any kind of outdoor reaction, absolutely, emergency shutdown. And then, whoop, keep going. Any last questions?
On that emergency shutdown, now just to confirm, and so if you have to go back and do that, should you always reverse track, or should you just continue going on in the direction that you were going?
I think that's completely up to you.
Okay.
Depending on how close that person or dog is, where you need to go. She's lip-licked. If you can move, give her some more distance, honor that fear, give her some more distance and keep going, I think it's up to you.
Okay.
There's no like right or way to do that.
Okay.
Okay?
And it's make her come to you,
Yes.
not you go to her.
Right. Because if the dog is there, and you turn to her and you pull her this way, you're pulling her into the scary thing.
Okay.
So part of what we're trying to communicate is, no, come with me, and you're taking her away from the scary thing as much
Okay.
as possible. But she kind of starts dragging her feet like, what? So you don't need to drag her too far. Just get her body situated.
Chloe.
And again, if she sits or stands, it doesn't matter. She's not flopping over like a turtle, so that's good. And then just nice big thumb rubs on her face until she licks her lips, which says she's switched and her thinking is now coming back to her front brain, and then you can just stop.
Okay.
Good girl, and off you go. And she's gonna lay with it back to me again. Well, lady, I don't know about this. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
No?
All right, great. So keep me posted on how she does.
Okay.
I'll be interested to find out.
Excellent.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks for
girl.
tuning in to this week's episode of Doggy Dilemmas. I look forward to seeing you next week.
If you have a doggy dilemma, Denise can help. Visit www.denisemazzola.com for more information. Denise Mazzola is a certified professional dog trainer tested through the Association of Pet Dog Trainers. The association requires recertification every 3 years with a minimum of 30 hours of continuing education. She has been training dogs and working with families for over 20 years.